am I actually happy? I got this thing that I wanted so bad, but am I happy now? Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dolores and welcome to Flourish with Dolores, where I give you practical tools to embrace your journey and remember that flourishing is about progress and not perfection. In today's video, I'm going to be opening up about my experience with post-grad depression, and I'll be sharing 5 signs to recognize if you're experiencing it as well. And more importantly, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to push through. So if you watched my scholarship video, you learned about my whole experience getting into college. I went to Seton Hall, got my bachelor's in social work. Then I went off to an accelerated advanced practice master's in social work programs. As I was getting my MSW, I started applying to PhD programs. And I'm not going to get too deep into the whole grad school process. If you want to see a video like that, I'd love to do a video like that. Comment below and let me know. But today's all about post-grad depression. So I'm going to kind of glaze through my doctoral experience. I got accepted into a doctoral program. It was a Doctor of Education in Higher Education from New England College. I was so excited because it was like, finally I get to check my next box. And that experience, getting my doctorate, I don't even know how to explain it. It will really make you question yourself, question your abilities. It put me to work. It really forced me to come into who I am as a scholar. It really forced me to be confident in my research. It was tough, but it was my most proudest moment because for the first time ever, I was able to become a doctor of education, join the 2%. So fun fact, I love fun facts, only 2% of Americans have a doctoral degree. So for me to be a part of that 2%, it was one of my most proudest moments. I was on such a high, especially because the dissertation writing is no joke. I think I probably wrote about over 200 pages on my research on how mentoring programs impact low-income first-gen students. And another fun fact, only 1% of Black people in the entire world have a doctorate. So for me to be able to contribute to that, and I think the numbers went up a little bit since then, but for me to be able to contribute to that, I was on such a high, and it was such a beautiful moment for me to get it. So I graduate with this thing that I thought I wanted all my life, and after that high, that graduation, getting my graduate degrees was done, checked off my pretty little list, I was just like, now what? And I think that's something that we forget or that we don't really talk about a lot is when folks graduate, we're so excited for them, we're cheering them on. But then it comes where, kind of it just makes me kind of think of Hollywood when a movie set is done and all the lights turn off, and then you start to have to just come into your own and realize, am I actually happy? I got this thing that I wanted so bad, but am I happy now? And for a while I wasn't, and I think it's because I was chasing something that I finally got, and then it was like, okay, there's not a magic wand that life all of a sudden gets better. You have this doctorate, so now boom, 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 like your life's gonna be lit. It doesn't work like that. So I started looking for jobs, and I had a hard time finding jobs, especially because I was so young with a doctorate, and now I'm competing for certain jobs, especially higher level jobs with people who have 15 plus years of higher ed experience. And then when I would apply for jobs that were more entry level, people would be like, but you got a doctorate, why are you applying for this entry level job? And then again, when I apply for high level administrative positions, people would be like, who's this thing she is? She don't got no experience. So I was like in this really weird place of where I felt like I got my doctorate degree too early. And then I just didn't know what box to check next to get to my goal. And for me, that became where the grad school, post-grad depression started kicking in, and where I really started to question, who am I? Who is Dolores? And I think for a while, for people who are similar to me, who being a student becomes very much of your identity, once you're no longer a student, you really have to face yourself and really learn who you are. And yeah, that's when grad school depression really hit me hard. Although I've never been clinically diagnosed with depression, I do want to share that post-grad depression is real. So I'm going to share 5 signs on recognizing if you are experiencing post-grad depression, and this is from her campus. The first one is you are feeling extremely disorganized, and This kind of kicks in because when you're in school, you pretty much have a regimented schedule. You know, okay, I'm going to study here, I have class here. You pretty much have a schedule built for you. But when you finish undergrad, it's kind of like, what do I do now? I'm home. Maybe you move back home. You don't have a job yet. You're like, I can't get organized because you don't really have a schedule to maintain. Number two is that your motivation is diminishing. So this could happen, like I just shared, I was applying for jobs and I was having a hard time getting one. So it's easy to stop feeling motivated. The third one is that you are checking social media way too much for your good. So on social media, especially the gram, is a highlight reel where people are sharing the good. So if you are a recent graduate and you're home and you don't have a job yet and you're really feeling like you're lacking a purpose, you're really feeling defeated, and then you're scrolling through the gram and you're like, oh, Ashley just got this job, or wow, Trayvon just got engaged. Oh, wow, Henrietta just got pregnant. And I'm making up these names that just came into my mind. But you're seeing all these different accomplishments, or just people just looking really good, snatched, living their life, having a good time. And then you're just in bed like, I don't know what's next for my life. So that's when you know that you are checking social media way too much for your good, because you're comparing yourself too much. And we're human. We all compare. I still compare. But you're comparing to yourself so much to the point where it's really making you feel deeply sad. That's when you may want to take some social media breaks. So I've had moments where I delete social media for a day, for a week, when I just know my head is just way too wrapped up in what's going on with everyone else and not myself, and really being in tune with who I am. The fourth one that her campus lists is that you are desperate to find a support system. So I think this really happens for folks who go away for college. So in college, you had a support system, you had your girls or your boys, your crew, and then you move back home and you're like, it's crickets. And you feel like you don't have that support system, or you're hitting up your friends that you went to college with and such is working, so they're busy, they can't sit on the phone with you like they used to. So you're just really feeling lonely, and your family may not really understand what you're experiencing, because they're like, girl, you just graduated college, be happy. Why you don't got a job yet? What's going on? When you gonna start paying the bills? When you gonna start doing all this stuff? So you feel like you don't have a support that really understands. And the fifth one is that you feel like you're at a standstill. So if you feel like there's nowhere else for you to go, you tried to get a job, you're still not getting a job, and things just aren't working out, that's a huge teller of post-grad depression. And trust me, I've been there. I've had all 5 happen to me. Sometimes they still trickle in. I remember at the end of last year in 2019, one of my line sisters posted, it was like a meme that was going around, and it said something like, we are exiting a decade and entering into a new one. So what have you done the last 10 years? And I was like, I haven't done anything in the last 10 years. I'm nobody. I don't have a purpose. I responded in our group chat like, dang, what have I done in the last 10 years? And they had to remind me like, sis, you got a whole doctorate, got a whole master's, and they affirmed different things that I had accomplished, that because I was so blinded by post-grad depression, I didn't realize. And it's not like I didn't fully realize, but because I didn't have my next step to work towards, and I wasn't on that high of working towards another degree or in my dream job that I thought I would be, whatever that was, I started to feel like I wasn't accomplishing anything. And I think that happens to so many of us. And I want you to know that you are accomplishing so much. And I always say this, even getting out of bed and, facing another day in this struggle of a world that we're in, that is an accomplishment. That is progress. Finishing high school, finishing your bachelor's. Listen, there's only 30% of Americans that have a bachelor's degree. So if you feel like, oh, but everybody else got a master's, doctorate, but you're part of the 30% of Americans who have a bachelor's degree. Let's celebrate that, and I am a firm believer that things will work out. I have to remind myself many times that things will work out, and sometimes we just gotta put a chill on it. So here are my 5 tips on how to push through and come out of post-grad depression as best as we can. So I hinted on this one. The first one is be gentle and kind with yourself. And I know I'm the hardest on myself. My friends have said this to me. They say, Dolores, you are like our biggest cheerleader, but sis, you are so mean to yourself. And I really push myself so hard, and I don't really like when I'm not doing well, or when I feel like I'm not doing well enough. But we have to learn to be more gentle with ourselves, to be more kind to ourselves, because if we're not you know, catering to ourselves and treating ourselves right, how can we do that for other people? How can we be there for other people? And then also, how can we expect great things to happen to us if we don't even treat ourselves right? Number two, which you'll probably always hear me say in many of my videos, is to seek therapy. And therapy has really helped me hold a mirror of where those feelings are coming from and really come out of that. So seek therapy if needed. And you can go to Psychology Today, look through profiles, find someone. If you don't have insurance, I'm going to link below some resources for different services that offer to people who don't have insurance. And many therapists offer services on a sliding scale. So if you don't have insurance, maybe they'll let you give $20 in cash. And there was a point when I had just graduated from my master's and I was working a job and I wasn't getting paid enough to be able to pay for quality insurance. So I couldn't afford therapy out of pocket. And I thank God to this day that I found a therapist who was willing to allow me to give her $20 a session. And even that was kind of like $20, but it was better than the $150, and it allowed me to have access to therapy. Number three is to try out different routines that may work for you. So you might try out a couple and you don't like it, but keep trying different routines so you can kind of get into some sort of regimen or schedule. I think when we have some sort of routine or regimen, we start to feel a sense of purpose. We know that in the morning I'm going to go for a walk, then I'm going to make a smoothie. You just start to feel like you're kind of getting in the swing of things. And it gives you an opportunity to then start penciling times where you're going to apply for jobs, times where you're going to hang out with friends. So definitely start playing around with different routines and then try to stick to one that you like, that works for you. The fourth one is to work out. So for me, here I am telling you what works for me. I love to dance. So try different workouts and see what works for you. You have to move your body. Moving your body really helps to release dopamine and other natural happy chemicals that are in your brain that kind of helps you be happy and feel better and gives you that boost of energy to start to feel a sense of purpose and knock out that grad school depression with the 1-2 punch. So you want to definitely move your body. Reminds me of that song, Move Your Body, Girl. The fifth one is to surround yourself with people who are happy for you, who root for you, who want to see you win, and who remind you who you are. Because I think a lot of times we forget who we are and how great we are and how special and loved we are. So it's good to surround yourself with people who are going to remind you of your magic, of your secret sauce, my Black Girl Magic shirt. Shout out to Angie for getting me this shirt. But you want to surround yourself with people who are going to remind you who you are. And if you need new friends, I know it's not easy to make new friends as an adult, but it is possible. And you can do that through volunteering, doing community service with sororities or fraternities, or with your job and finding friends through there, going to happy hours, going to bingo nights. My fiance loves trivia nights, so he'll go to trivia nights, and that's great ways to find like-minded people. Even when I was getting my doctorate, one of my best friends, Thelma, we would get together, we would study, we would be miserable together while we were studying because she was getting her master's in nursing, but then also have some fun, pig out. So you want to surround yourself by people who are good, positive, happy people, and also who are going through some of the same challenges as you are, but you want to uplift each other. I hope this video was helpful. Comment below if it was. I want you to remember, if you don't remember anything, it's that you are not alone in this adulting struggle. You are a part of this community, if anything. That's the biggest reason why I started my brand. I wanted to dispel the myth that us as young adults who are trying to figure it out do not have to have it all figured out. We don't have to have it all together. And I want to encourage us to embrace our journey. All of our journeys are going to look different. And so we want to embrace your journey and remember that flourishing is about progress and not perfection. So you got this. You're going to get through this. You're going to push through. Please comment below if this was helpful. Definitely praying for you if you are in the thick of it, because I know it's not easy. Subscribe if you like this video. Let me know what else you want to see. I can go more into my grad school journey and how I got accepted and prepared for grad school. Let me know. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I love you so much for watching. Peace.